Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today I want to talk about visas. I get a lot of questions asked a lot of times, and this visa thing I get asked quite a few times, so I thought I'd just do a video on it, and so give some answers some. You guys can feel free to email me. Most of you have my email. If not, just ask for it and I'll give you my email. So if you need any help on this, there are many visas. There's hundreds of visas here in the Philippines. There's retirees, special retirees visa. There's many visas. So I'm gonna go through a few of the ones that everybody really should probably focus on. If you're married to a Filipina and you're coming into the area and you want to just check things out and say you hadn't been here for a while, or maybe a Filipina that's U.S. born. But you can actually, if she's resident here and has ties to the country, you can actually get what they call a Bayan visa upon entry to the country. And this Bayan gives you up to 12 months at no cost. Now, during this time you're here, it gives you multiple entries. You go in and out of the country multiple times with no worries. You don't have to get an exit visa or anything like that, like you do with the tourist and a visa. So you can actually go back now. I've just looked on the internet. You can actually go back now and get a 6-month extension on that 12 months. And then if additional needed, you can actually go a little more than that. So you can actually get, after the 12 months, you get a 1-month extension, a 2-month extension, or a 6-month extension. So it's entirely up to what you'd like to do. And you can go with multiple entries. You don't have to go get an exit clearance. The visa that you have, that you receive when upon arrival, it's just basically a stamp. It gives you 30 days. Some call it a tourist visa, some don't. Some just call it entrance visa. But I just call it tourist visa because that's exactly what it is. So you come to the Philippines and you're going to visit someone here and you want to check things out, or you're just not visiting anybody and you want to check out the country. You get 30 days and they stamp it. During that time, if you want to stay a little longer, just go back and you can get additional months thereafter. Now, they also have, in the same instance, you can actually what they call a 9A visa. So if you live in the United States of America, check with your embassy. They do have what they call a 9A visa, and it gives you up to 12 months for $90 a year. So, and of course, that's another visa. So it's different than the tourist, but they call it a tourist visa. Also some cases, but it's really a 9A visa. So check the United States. They have a 9A visa. You can actually go to the embassy and actually get that. And what it does is the Philippine embassy or U.S. embassy, they help you. There's always a representative around. So what you do is just ask them that you want to stay here in the Philippines longer than 3, 4, 5 months. What visa can I get, and what's the easiest way to get that? And a lot of them are getting the 9A visa, which is $90. So you can actually get that visa also. So the tourist visa, you stay up to 3 years on it. Depending on what office you go to, they'll give you a 2-month extension, a 6-month extension, or a year extension. It depends on what office it is. Each office is different. Some offices in the beginning, when I first came here, will give me a year extension on a tourist visa. When I first came, and this is years ago, then they would give me 6 months. They just asked how many months to require, and I said, what can I get? Can I get a year? They said, no, we give you 6 months, but sometimes I did get a year. But since that time, I got a 13A visa. And a 13A visa, what that is a visa that if you're married to a Filipina, and she will sponsor you, saying that, yes, he's my husband, he lives here with me, and I will sponsor him. And you can actually do that. It's a form. It's like any other forms you fill out. You need to get some copies of your picture, 2x2s, and you need to have a police clearance here in town, MBI police clearance. A lot of times what they do, you can actually go to the MBI and get a clearance. Some you can get it in a day, some is a little longer than that. Some it takes 2 weeks. But like Manila, place like that, you can get a MBI clearance in just a few minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, sometimes a little longer than that, but they'll tell you. So you need to get an MBI clearance. You need a copy of your marriage certificate. You need a copy of your birth certificate. You need a copy of your passport, of course, with photos. Then, and you need to go get a medical. They do a chest X-ray, things like that. When I did mine, I didn't have to do it, but now they're requiring that you have to have a chest X-ray. they check your blood pressure and other things. So they check your chest for probably TB and things like that. Now that visa's 13A visa, and you pay the fees on that visa. I think I paid $400 on that visa when I got it. It's a yearly visa, and then every year it's renewed. You just go and you just renew it once a year, and it costs like 300 pesos or something like that. Now they have special retiree visas, what they call non-immigrant visas here. So it's a definite stay, multiple entries. You can come in and out of the country. One-time implementation. You can actually write off some of the household goods effects up to 7K. It depends. They have what they call this particular visa is you open up a bank account at 20K in a Philly bank, and it's called SRRB Smile Visa, and it gives you some benefits like access to greet and assist program at airports. It's entitlement to the Philly Health Benefit Program if you would like, and privileges if you would like to have it. You can actually, if you buy lease property or buy something like a condo or lease land, you can actually put that money into that, and it gives you availability of write-off for that. But you have to have 20K for that particular visa. That's called SRRB Smile. The next one is called SRRB Classic, which is a deposit you have to do. Same thing. It's 50 and above. If you have to be 50 and above to get this one. There are certain requirements with it, like they're going to make sure you have a minimum of $1,000 coming in pension. They want a really minimum of $800 to $1,000 a month in all these visas anyway. If you're going to get some of these visas, that's what they're saying. There's probably certain requirements. Believe me, if you have money in the bank, I'm sure things will be okay there. But and then they have pensions that must be a must, and there's lease and things like that. And some of it you can do it at 20K, or you can do a 10K. You can do a 20K with the SRV Classic, 10K or 20K. And you must have $800 to $1,000 a month. Now, all these requirements are, you need the same thing I said earlier. You need to make sure you get your medical clearance, your police clearance, which is NBI clearance, photos. You have to show us a deposit into a Philippine bank, and they're going to charge you fees. And the fees will vary on it. They can charge you $1,400. It could cost you about, I think it's about $1,600, something like that total, time you get all the dependents. Now, what they do is they give you dependents, up to 2 dependents. Any more dependents, they charge you a fee for that. Okay, the Human Touch is called SRB Human Touch, and that's for the sick retirees. It's 35 and above that needs medical care. They must have at least $1,500 a month in pension and 10K in the bank. This SRV Courtesy is one. It's former Filipino. You can actually former Filipino, say they citizen somewhere else, 35 plus, or foreign nationals 50 and above. That's retired officers of international organizations recognized by Department of Foreign Affairs. It's a $1,500 deposit required for that, and that's SRRV Courtesy. It's former Filipino, 35 plus, foreign nationals, which would be someone like ourselves, 50 and above, retired officers of international organizations. And they didn't clarify international organizations. I think it's more like policemen, firemen, things like that, or international. It did not clarify it in detail. I looked for it and I looked for it, but I couldn't find it. But you can actually find these links. I'm going to put links to these into my video. At the end in the description, so you'll be able to just click on it if you need any questions or anything answered. But you can also email me. If I can help you, I will on any of this, because I'm kind of rushing through it to try to get it under the 10 minutes, because people tell me on my videos are too long, 10, 15, 20 minutes. So, and I'm already at 9 minutes, and I'm not even got through half of it yet. So, SRV Expanded Courtesy is your military visas. That's the ones that's for nationals 50 and above, armed forces, United States military, anybody's in the military. They must have $1,000 income coming in, some kind of retirement coming in. $1,500 deposit is always required. It does include 2 dependents. The 2 dependents, say 2 children. Anything additional dependents, you have to have a $15,000 deposit on each one of those. And they must be adopted, and they must be under 21. Because they want to make sure your papers are right, and they must be adopted. So on any of these, you have to make sure that, especially on the expanded military courtesy, you have to, if you have dependents. Now, because these SOV Smile, the Classic, the Human Touch, and the Courtesy, is just for you personally, but the expanded courtesy said that, I don't know why they're requiring this 2 dependents, additional dependents, but they are. So there's also, you can actually find these forms actually online I'll post them, you can find them online, and they will give you availability that you can actually look and find any answers to any of these that you want. I will make sure to give you links on this. So we talked about the Blick Bion, the 13A, the temporary visa, tourist visa, the special retirees visa, coming the non-immigrant stay. Now all these visas give you multiple entries, except for the temporary visa, tourist visa, and you just have to, what they do, you get an exit. Look at that fly on the wall, huh? You get an exit clearance before you leave, and I think it's 500 peso. What I did, believe it or not, if it's under the 6-month stay and you're on a tourist visa, and you can actually leave, you just leave at the airport. If not, you're going to need some type of exit clearance before you can go. And what that is basically saying they go and check and make sure everything's okay, and then you leave the country. But really, the best bang for the buck in the short term is Blick Bion. If you're just coming here to check things out and you got a Filipino wife, make sure you bring a marriage certificate with you, and make sure you have her with you. And they will not give it to you without that. If they see that you've actually got the Blick Bion before and things like that, and the system shows fine and dandy, they may let you in. But most of the time, they're going to ask for a marriage certificate and your wife. I thought about that when I first came here originally, but I couldn't. We couldn't work out the logistics for Chicha to meet me. So there you go. Some of the visas. These are just some of the visas. I want to thank everybody for watching, and please hit like.